How's it going, YouTube? Fuzz here, and welcome to a Warhammer Chaosbane gameplay video. So this is recorded during the beta phase, the first beta phase of the game. The game itself is set to release on June the 4th this year, and the current beta period is March the 7th for, I can't remember the exact date, but for about 3 or 4 days, I think it is. So I'm recording on the PC version of the game, and I thought I'd take you through one of the quests that's currently active. In fact, the whole of Act 1 is playable in the beta, so quite a bit of content. Took me about 2.5 hours to go through the entire act on my first playthrough. That was on the PS4 version of the game. On the PC version here, I cut it down to about 2 hours, so you could probably do it in about an hour and a half, maybe even a little bit less if you rush through it. But if you spend your time as I did, then it's, you know, I'd say about 2 to 2.5 hours of content. So what I'm showing you here is just one of the quests that's currently available, and as you can see, we need to find the Chaos Camp. So that's pretty much what we're going to be doing. So as I mentioned, this is the PC version, but I've also recorded my full playthrough from the PS4 version of Warhammer Chaosbane as well. So make sure you check that out on my channel if you would like to compare the two editions of the game, PC against console. Now, I am going to address something that I have seen a few people asking about already, and I don't think it's going to please you all that much, but it is what it is, and remember this is beta, so things can change. And while there are differences between the interface on the PC version and the console version of Chaosbane, at least right now the PC version does use the radial menus that have clearly been built for the console edition. So this means that you will be using your mouse to, you know, scroll around the radial menus in order to access various slots on your character's body in order to equip items. That said, the actual bag itself, the stash, does open all at once so that you can see all of your items together in a way that you cannot do on the console version of the game. So clearly the developers have tried to have PC players in mind when they've arranged this, as you can see here on the screen. I would like to see that radial menu kept strictly for consoles, though it doesn't really play well straight into the, you know, the mouse and keyboard setup. So hopefully that is just something that exists at the moment because we're in beta, and we'll see how it plays out as the game is released later on in the year. That's more of a nitpick from my point of view, though, in all honesty. It doesn't really affect the gameplay in any way, shape or form, and it's just a minor inconvenience at best having to use those radial menus here. That said, the game does very much feel like a traditional action role-playing game, very, very Diablo-esque in its style, and if you're familiar with the franchise, the Diablo franchise, then you're going to feel right at home here when you play Warhammer Chaosbane. In fact, because of the Warhammer fantasy setting, it actually very much feels like a Diablo game, not only in the style, in the genre, but in the setting as well. Now, I think I did mention in a previous video that the comparisons between Chaosbane and Diablo are only going to be coming in even thicker and faster as more people begin to experience the game and talk about it. So, yeah, I guess that could end up being a little bit annoying. But unfortunately, that's just the way it is, because this game is very Diablo-like. And in my view, that's a good thing. Diablo is one of my favourite franchises. Diablo 3, nowadays anyway, when it was first released, it was a little bit hit or miss, but nowadays it's a fantastic game. I think it's a shame that so many people were turned off from the launch problems and that happened way back in the day. But anything that can replicate that kind of addictive fun is something that I'm going to be praising a lot. And Chaosbane seems to do that job very, very well indeed. From what I've played anyway so far, I'm very excited to see where this game is going to go in the future. Anyway, getting back to the here and now, we've just entered the next area as we work towards completing the quest that we're currently advancing here. And I'm playing right now as the Soldier class. So the Soldier is one of 2 character classes available in the beta. There will be more available when the game launches officially in June. And the other class is the High Mage. So obviously the Soldier, as you can see here, is a physical, melee-oriented class. He likes to destroy his enemies with his sword, or whatever other melee weapon he happens to have equipped. And the Mage is obviously a more magic-oriented class. If you would like to see the Mage in action, once again I'd point you to that other set of videos I've made, which should be up on the YouTube channel right now, which is what I recorded from the PS4 version of the game, and you can see the Mage in action there. Now, one thing I would like to draw your attention to before we proceed any further, above our health and resource globes, you can see this kind of third globe right in the centre above where it says level 9 that's flashing and bubbling red. That's actually something, a resource known as Bloodlust. And I'm just going to use it there. And what Bloodlust allows us to do is give us access to certain other skills, special skills and abilities. Right now it seems I just have access to one when I activate that for a limited time. And when we kill enemies using those Bloodlust abilities, we'll get a ton of these fragments. Now, fragments are used to boost the power of our characters on a special skill tree. Not the normal skill tree, this is more like a talent tree. And fragments are the currency we're going to use to boost that and to learn those new abilities. So you can get fragments just through normal combat as well, but you want to really make best use of that Bloodlust, because that will give you access to just tons and tons of those resources. One thing to mention as well, as far as I can tell, you're much better off making sure you've got a whole ton of enemies before you engage the Bloodlust. Otherwise, you're just going to end up wasting it because you won't get many fragments from it. So in terms of character advancement, it's pretty standard action role-playing game affair, it has to be said. Obviously, you've got your traditional levelling. Right now, my character is currently level 9, as you can see on the interface there. The level cap in beta is set to 20. Not sure exactly what the level cap's going to be on the retail release of the game, but I'd imagine substantially higher than it currently is. And each character class will also have access to their own individual and unique skill trees. So these are basic abilities that you unlock as you level up, and you will use skill points in order to go ahead and choose which abilities you want active. More powerful abilities are going to require more skill points, and you only have a limited number of skill points. That said, these decisions aren't permanent. A little bit, similar to how it works in Diablo 3 when you select skills. You can go back and deselect any skill at any point, have those skill points refunded, and invest them somewhere else if you want to change your build-up. Obviously, since we're still in beta, I would imagine that all of those skills are going to be changed drastically from here on out. But we'll see how it plays going forward, and I will certainly look forward to, putting out some build videos and gameplay guides as the game progresses here in terms of its development. But for now, folks, I'm going to shut up and leave you alone, so please do enjoy the rest of this video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
I smell man flesh! Kill the unbeliever!
I was told to bring you in a...